So guys, this was the moment Peter Obi joined protesters demanding for the electronic transmission of election results. So guys, all we want is legality in this country. The Senate are afraid, the senators, they are afraid because they might end up not coming back if these election results are transmitted real time. We know that all the cancellations happened during collation, but now Peter Obi has joined the protesters demanding that Akpabio pass the bill. Akpabio pass the bill on electronic transmission. So guys, I'm going to allow you to take a look at the video. The headline here says Peter Obi leads anti-Senate protest on e-transmission of election results, and this other headline here says Nigerian youths protesting in front of National Assembly this morning to demand the provision for mandatory electronic transmission of election results ahead of 2027 general election. So guys, Nigerians are really appreciative of Peter Obi. This man has shown leadership, he has shown courage. Do you know what it takes for him to come out and be part of this protest? Anyway guys, let me know what you think about this in the comment section below. Please don't forget to subscribe and turn on the bell notification for more. Now take a look.
Back to the real-time transmission, electronic transmission, because there seems to be misunderstanding the way people are explaining electronic transmission. We say upload from the ward level, from the voting point, from the polling unit. When you upload immediately, and when you upload, what happens? Whether you have, even if you are saying it's in a place where there is no network, as soon as you get to the network environment, the thing uploads. And so what we are asking the Senate to do is to come back to the same resolution of electronic transmission. You are creating, confidence and trust for a system. Let them not take us back. The real-time transmission is about when people vote, it will count. When you say you have covered the country, a lot of people are supporting you. What we want is a transparent and accountable system. Transmit, let whoever deserves it win. And we need to point out the fact that we normally vote for party logos. When you go on a party ticket and you no longer want to belong to the party, you need to also declare your exit. The position should be declared vacant. So it's not about you going up and down. Nobody ever votes. No person's face is in the ballot box. It's the party itself. So you declare that seat vacant when you leave the party. This is very essential. So transparent election is all we are talking about. Electronic transmission of the results to the polling unit. Don't deceive us by saying, they don't have network there. No, upload. Wherever you go into the network, it uploads immediately. And so this is what we are talking about. We are not asking for too much. This morning is going to be a peaceful protest, a peaceful environment to say citizens can air out their voice. Their voices should be heard.
Timelines for INEC.
The timeline for INEC is very important. How can you now say? Because INEC need time to plan. Even with the 360 days, they are struggling with it. It's not enough. And now you are cutting it down by half. It's not acceptable. The timeline should still remain 360 days so that INEC can plan very well for the election. The new INEC, even the chairman, needs to also organize himself and organize his people. But whatever timeline, and this is what we are talking about, because the transmission is very important, the effective immediate passage of the law is very important so that the president will also have time to look through. We don't want version control and version, we are asking the National Assembly to represent the people of Nigeria, represent the system. We want one Nigeria. We want a good country for our children and our grandchildren. Believe in the system. We believe in Nigeria. We are not giving up hope for anybody. The fact that we are here today means we have hope for Nigeria. If nobody is saying anything, they should know that it's a time bomb. We are asking now, be responsible and respond to the election. Go and contest your election. Be safe. Everybody should. We are calling Nigerians to come out and take charge of their destiny. Thank you very much.
Who is that?
Simple
transmission. It's not a difficult thing. Allow the elections to go through the normal process. Whoever wins will accept. So why are you bringing all sorts of confusion?
I want to ask you a question. Last week, they protested. And last night, the Senate issued a statement saying that they are going to have an emergency plenary sitting tomorrow. Doesn't that make a difference?
That's what we are trying to make sure they make that difference.
So are you coming here tomorrow to protest as well?
No. When they sit tomorrow, after they are sitting tomorrow...
But the political parties are lagging behind. It's as if it's the Nigerian situation that is working. They are working towards this action.
We are working... We are doing that. That's what it's good you are seeing me today now.
It's the first time for everything. Let us get on that with people. Amechi.
Yeah, we'll stay with you. Let's continue to have a sight and sound of the protest at the National Assembly
Are we lazy? Akpabio! 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 Tajudeen Abbas! Akpabio! Barau Jibrin! Benkalu! Senate Committee! Simon Lalong! Seriaki Dixon! Ireti Kingibe! Senator Yaradua! All of you! Pass the bill! Pass the bill! My vote must count! My vote must count! No glitches! No glitches! Pass the bill! Akpabio! 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 Pass the bill! Because sorry, Buruku Leshe now. What should I say? Iwa Buruku! What boy, what way they don't like it? Or one National Assembly members no one. In fact, for 3 years, Oshileshe, you change national anthem one day. National anthem one day. Electoral Act 3 years will never fit pass out. As how now? As how? Who will not the wine? Yes,
If Nigeria is not a country of particular concern, and we have lawmakers of particular concern, 2023 election, they say there was a glitch, and more than 2 years later, no independent audit, nothing to guarantee that by the coming elections you will not have glitches. The demand of everybody here is simple. We want free, fair, credible elections. That is the foundation of every democracy. Sir, in African countries, military coup took place. Nobody died. In Nigeria, during democratic elections, people died. To vote in Nigeria can be a death sentence. And lawmakers or politicians do not think it is expedient for them to make sure the process is credible and seamless. Look at the mischief of politicians. You change national anthem bill within 1 day. If the president apply for loan today, before evening it will be approved. But electoral act amendment bill, for 2 years and counting, committee meeting upon committee, yet it has not been passed. Who is afraid of free and fair elections? Is Nigeria the only democracy that Democrats do not like free and fair elections? And this Senate is supposed to be the hallmark of the democracy. Until votes begin to count, the country is not moving forward because there is no deterrence. What we do is to reward criminality and corruption. The more corrupt you are, the more likely you can win election. The way Nigeria is going, if we don't fix our election, known bandits and terrorists will run for office because they are already holding peace and stakeholder forum in Katsina and other parts of the country. We must sanitize our electoral process. That is the first point of accountability. Let leaders know that power comes from the people, and then let them go there and behave irresponsibly. So that is our simple demand. Let votes count. Let there be free and fair election. Is it a bad demand, sir? It is unfortunate that by January today, 2026, we are still talking about this. According to the laws, at least a bill should be already signed 1 year out of the next election. Elections are about February next year. So as we are today, we are almost late. There is no consideration of the bill in the Senate. The House considered few clauses of it and went on holidays. Until today, they are just resuming for the year in 2026. So we are almost late, but it is part of the plan. The strategy was not even to pass it. Even if they pass it, they will create loopholes where they will be rigging and malpractice. So it is up to Nigerians to mobilize and know that when millions of people come out to vote, it makes rigging difficult. So it is Nigerians that will really give themselves electoral reform. All we will do is to get the legal framework. We will try to continue to put pressure. Nigerians must know that until your votes count, we are wasting time in this country. Whether they sign it or not, of which they will pass it, we will ensure that the vote will protect our vote. For me, Peter, for Nigeria, my vote must count 2027. I'm not part of these shenanigans and these unfortunate criminal circles we call leadership. Our votes must count. 2027, we do not want glitches. Whatever that was the glitches, the person who said there was glitches is now an ambassador, by the way. Confirmed to be an ambassador. My brother, make you see country where we live. Nigerians want to vote our leaders. Without free and fair election, what is the deterrence? We have incentivized bad leadership because you know you can reward yourself with more years. No matter how bad you are, you can come back, you can install stooges. We say enough. Our vote must count. They must pass the bill. Whether they like it or not, we will mobilize and come out and vote. So either
we are live here at the National Assembly ground. See, everybody is here. Flag boy, what you say, my bro? We there outside. Akpabio, Mrs. Akpabio, how far? Where you there? We are waiting for you. We there the ground. We want to see you. Mrs. Akpabio, where are you, man? We want to see you. Mrs. Akpabio, where are you, man? We want to see you. We there outside. 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 My vote must count. My vote must count. Peter for Nigeria, don't reach you. Peter for
For Nigeria to move forward, we must do away with these three fraudulent arms. For us to do away with it, we must fix INEC and have free and fair election. Our vote must count, and that is what they don't want. So that they do everything so that even president will say they no go sign that law. But as it is, if you steal my mandate the first time, 2023, shame on you. If we allow you to steal it the second time, shame on us. So Nigerians will not go shame. It is the people who want to rig election that will go to court. Akpabio must come out and pass the electoral reform bill. No. As we they talk now, make officers no contact because this Nigeria so now our Nigeria. This National Assembly where we come from. Akpabio will come out. What do we want? Our vote must. Our vote must. Our vote must. Oriburukule. Oriburukule. Akpabio pass the bill. 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 My name is Peter from Nigeria. Make we greet our people. This will not be protest. If you are standing by the side, then we came to visit you. We are not here on a courtesy visit. We are here on a protest. This National Assembly gate now where we go there. So I don't know what you are there for that corner they do. Whatever that they are doing here, this is where we are going together. This place, so where they now here we are. No, the Akpabio go meet us here. Akpabio go meet me here.
must count. Our vote must count. Our vote must count. We are tired of selection. Give us election. We are tired of selection. Give us election. We are tired of selection. We want election. We are tired of selection. Yes, we want election. Enough is enough.
Real-time electronic transmission of results. Somebody should tell Akpabio, if you cook for community, they go chop and finish, nothing go remain. But if community cook for you, only you no go fit chop and finish. The one where we dey go so, young people in Nigeria, the youth in Nigeria are cooking for Akpabio. And I can guarantee you, Akpabio, Barao Jibri, Samuel Along, Adam Toshomole, and all those leaders in the Senate no go fit chop and finish. 300 million Nigerians want to cook for you, and I can guarantee you that you cannot finish eating it. Today, all road leads to the National Assembly. As I talk to you now, my cab don't dey down with the commot. We are going to join patriots who are there fighting for the future of this country. You where there your house they pontificate, continue. Just continue what you are doing. Nigeria belongs to all of us. Nigeria does not belong to Akpabio. Nigeria does not belong to Tinubu. Nigeria does not belong to Sheyi. Nigeria belongs to every single one living in this geographical environment called the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Akpabio is working for me. They are using my taxes to pay him. Barau is working for me. They are using my taxes to pay him. We are going to his office today. He will explain why they remove mandatory electronic transmission of results. We will meet ourselves.
Online shouting. Come outside. As you can see, we are ready. So let's not be shouting online as we don't make any much impact. But coming on this, that if you're in Abuja, it's time to come out. So people are here. I did here. So this one don't be say them say they say I did here. Let's go.
Let me seize this opportunity to warn Senator Godswill Akpabio, Speaker Abbas, those who work in National Assembly, and President Tinubu. I can tell you, we are extremely serious and sensitive about this electronic transmission. And if they want the democracy to end on this subject, we will give it to them. They must put it, because that's what the people want. Or they should resign and leave the place. If they think we are going to make noise for 2-3 days and forget about it, we are not. If you don't do electronic transmission, if you don't put it in the law, this election will not hold. And the government will leave. They must put it. We are not joking. If we have to do whatever it takes to make them do it, legally, because they are not acting legally, so we'll do pragmatically. I can tell you, we are gentle, we love the country, we want the system to run, but if they play a monkey game with us on this issue of electronic transmission, I don't mind to contest an election that is free and fair and I lose. I will salute the winner. But if you want to turn yourself to a center of electoral bandits and hijack every opportunity that the people want for peaceful improvement of our lot, anyone who is sketching and dancing around the issue of electronic transmission definitely has shown you the first warning that they don't want free and fair election.
Into it. This last few days, the Senate had a plenary session where the Senate president said, look, the ruling about electronic transmission of results is that we're going to leave it the way that it was in 2022, the act. Now, before you answer that, the background is that both members of the House of Reps and the National Assembly, their electoral committees, agreed that, look, we need to mandate electronic transmission of results. They all agreed. The Senate members, the House of Reps members, they agreed. There were all kinds of retreats and meetings, behind the scenes stuff. But here comes Senator Godswill Akpabio and attempting to knock all of that down. Mr. Kunko, how do you respond to this?
Well, let's say that it's pathetic. It's depressing and very irritating that the Senate president, that is the first amongst equals, he's just a senator, that his own colleagues chose to preside over them, will unilaterally, in cahoot with some of his gang in the National Senate, try to cunningly and surreptitiously overrule the entire Senate. Now, let us even say the whole idea of Electoral Act 2022 was to introduce technology and electronic transmission of results. That is the whole reason for it. If you recall, President Buhari, the first time they amended the act without putting the provision for the electronic transfer. He refused to assent to it until they put that provision. So the issue here is that there is an outcry that after the election of 2023 and the petition and the determination of the issue by the Supreme Court, people are no longer sure whether it is mandatory or discretionary on INEC to electronically transmit. And the Supreme Court noted that. Of course, I disagree that it was not mandatory. It was mandatory in Electoral Act 2022. But the Supreme Court is the final court. The Supreme Court noted that because of some vagueness in some sections, especially 60 subsection 5, where they use the word transfer without using the word transmit, that it could result in some vagueness. And then there is a need for the legislature to make it mandatory. Let me tell you the beautiful, notable pronouncement by Abba Aji, Justice of the Supreme Court, as he still is. He said, modernity and technology stare us in the face, and we cannot turn back the hand of time. He said to go against the use of technology and electronic transmission and transfer of election results in this high-tech era and period is to be an enemy of democracy, and to stick to the vicious cycle of election rigging, manipulation, falsification, and subterfuge. This is the pronouncement of Abba Haji, Justice of the Supreme Court. And he went further to plead with the legislature that they should amend this.
Is it the 2023?
2023.
Okay.
Atiku versus INEC. Number 2, 2023. 19 Nigeria Weekly Law Report, part 1917, 761 at page 876. And in 877, the learned judge Abba Aji of the Supreme Court went further to plead with the legislature to please nip this confusion in the bud by making it clear and unambiguous through amending the process that legislature, that INEC does not have any discretion, that it is mandatory. I had to state the case. Atiku's case was the only presidential appeal that was considered by the Supreme Court. So it is the only appeal now that tells you the position of the Supreme Court as long as presidential election is concerned, using the Electoral Act 2022. Now, some judges, even in that judgment, like Akomai Agim, was of the opinion that 2022 Act made it clear that electronic transmission is compulsory. He said it must be done. So the issue here is that some judges differed. But the issue here is this: why would the legislature prevaricate on an issue that the Supreme Court had told you that it encourages electoral rigging, manipulation, and makes you an enemy of democracy? What it means is that Senator Godswill Akpabio has become an enemy of democracy and is sticking to the vicious cycle of election rigging, manipulation, falsification, and subterfuge by trying to maintain the same provision that Supreme Court told you that if you do, you are an enemy of democracy. That man is an enemy of democracy and should be removed if he doesn't resign.
Well, I mean, it is quite a very serious matter, because I had a conversation with Mr. Clement Nwako, the day right after, and he said to me that, look, he is the executive director of Policy and Legal Advocacy Center, and they've been working with the National Assembly, behind the scene, even trying to facilitate some of the retreat And he said that at all the retreats held in Lagos and other parts of the country, members, each of the houses, they have their electoral committee members. You know, as a matter of fact, Senator Lalong, you know, who was the DG for APC presidential election in 2023, was the chairman of the Senate Electoral Committee, and they all endorsed. They all endorsed this idea. Yeah, mandatory transmission. So
absolutely.
That is why many Nigerians, you know, are quite outraged.
It is unbelievable.
So the next question I'd like to ask you is that.
Yes.
I know that, you know, I don't know whether you are quite a politician, you are a new breed of politician. How is it possible?
Yes.
You know, Ken.
Yes.
That the Senate president can have that kind, let's even forget the audacity. But how can he prevail when the committee of Senate had recommended something that is different? How does that even happen?
In one word, corruption. You know, when people hear corruption, they always rush to think it is only financial. No. Corruption is the abuse of public office for private gain. Corruption, the whole idea is for self-preservation. The whole idea is that they know they've lost the support of the Nigerian people. And so they want to rig the 2027 election before it even started. Look at shifting the notice, the time INEC will give notice.
By half.
No, what sense does it make? You know why? Because if they conduct their primary earlier, people who will be dissatisfied because they are going to implode will have the opportunity to find alternatives before the time. So personal gain. So they want to cut everything in order to make sure that they survive. Private gain. So this is simply corruption. And if you witnessed the proceeding of the House, you saw the way he just told somebody, move a motion, another second. Those in support say, look, if you have been in such parliament, and I'm telling you the truth, at times people will be just discussing because they know what they have already agreed on. So they will just be saying, I, in all this. They will not know that some evil has been done. Let me tell you something. Even if Tinubu comes out unopposed in 2027, he will fail. Because our constitution is clear. That even if you are the only person that came out, they will still ask Nigerians to vote whether yes or no. That you will, more people will vote no. How can you vote yes? No, let me tell you. Would there be any person that is sane that will transport himself under the new flight tickets cost of Tinubu, 500,000 naira, to go to his village, to go to the cubicle, to vote for Tinubu? No, is it possible? Okay, without preempting things. The person cannot even travel through the land because he will be afraid that he will be terrorized, kidnapped, or killed. The person cannot travel through the air because he can't afford the air ticket. The person cannot travel through the sea because, one, river may not have reached his village, and even if he travels, he will die. Can't you? You are hearing about boats capsizing every day.
Especially in Niger State. But the problem...
So it is hopeless. And they now want to rig the election before it starts. And they are making a mess of the Electoral Act 2022. Let me tell you, without mandatory electronic transmission of results, there is no Electoral Act that encourages technology.
Okay.
And INEC itself, of course, you know, the only reason we are doing this is because everybody has lost confidence in INEC. In that Supreme Court judgment, Justice Nyango Koro, Justice of the Supreme Court, as he still is, he said, truth be told, that the non-transmission of the election results into the INEC Rev portal in real time, electronically, reduced the confidence of the people in the election. And so what it means is that even the Supreme Court has understood that people lost confidence in that election because this was not electronically transmitted. And there is a Senate president, because the legislature is the foundation of democracy, is the gatekeeper of democracy. The reason America is still standing today is because of the legislature that has refused to be compromised. Of course. And you have a Senate president who wants to rig election, who wants to manipulate election by Supreme Court's own submission, who wants Nigerians to lose confidence in the election. Because the Supreme Court has told you that the best way to make sure that the people have confidence in the election is immediately you finish in the polling unit, let them see their result in their own phone. And let me tell you, when people are debating, the legislature should better have an interpretative clause to every word they use. I told you that, in my own opinion, there were substantial provisions that made it mandatory for INEC to transfer and transmit. Section 62, good. Section 62, verse 2, Section 62, subsection 2, is very clear. He said, INEC shall compile, maintain, and update on a continuous basis a register of election results, to be known as National Electronic Register of Election Results, which shall be a distinct database and a repository of polling unit by polling unit results, including collated results of any election organized by INEC. And they should maintain the electronic copy at their headquarters. What else do you need?
That's what the law says. Even
Section 62. Now, the Supreme Court now picked Section 62(1) and said this represents the manual transfer. And Section 62(2), which is the completion of the electronic transfer, you said no, it is post-election process. No. The interpretative canon of the law is that you interpret a section jointly, holistically, politically, not taking one subsection. One section is one section. So if the Supreme Court took 62(1), they must take 62(2) to complete the hybrid nature. That is actually the collation system they're talking about. 62(2). And they said on a continuous basis. Do you know what that means? Immediately you finish the election, transmit the polling unit. And each collation you finish, you transmit. So each level of collation is using that data, which they said repository of election result, to be used to guide you.
Okay, you know.
But then, because of that nebulosity, that confusion, there is nothing wrong in the legislature confirming it. And by amending it, so that it will leave nobody in doubt.
All right, good. Let's move on, because I wanted to also talk about a few other things, you know, and our time is fast, going very fast. The issue of insecurity persists. But something happened in this country on Christmas Day. You had the U.S. president, the U.S. government, you know, launch a series of Tomahawk missiles, I think about 12, you know, in southwest Nigeria.
Northwest.
Northwest. In northwest Nigeria, specifically Sokoto. So, since then also, you've had the Americans, you know, send us some equipment that they can help our intelligence. And then this last week, the Americans also sent a small team of military generals, military officials. Now, I want to ask you, Ken, how do you interpret this? Because I think that, hey, if you need help, you need help, you know. But I'd like to hear, what's your perspective?
My perspective, first and foremost, is that it is the colossal failure and admission of failure that Tinubu's government is incapable of protecting the lives and property of Nigerians. This is the first time in the history of this nation that a government will say they invited a foreign government to bomb our country. And do you know the most annoying thing that is making me to even want to cry? We heard about this bombing from America, not from Nigeria.
Although they confirmed it.
But he said that's what we heard.
You're right.
And I'm telling you, if we have not heard, they may not even have told you.
Oh, wow.
It's a shame. Everything that is happening, the troops, or so-called. We heard it from Americans. So can you imagine such thing as sensitive as the security of the people? And a foreign country is performing the act in Nigeria, and we are hearing it from a foreign country. So it's a total mess. We need help. Yes, we do. Because life has no duplicate. Since January 1, what we have been hearing is stories of tears and blood. Kwara State, that used to be very peaceful before Tinubu came in, Kwara State is now under siege. That terrorists go out to tell people convert or be killed. That terrorists send letter beforehand. The village head will alert the security operatives, and nothing will be done until they are massacred. The only achievement Tinubu has made in security is to send verbal condolence messages and to speak empty words. That's the security objective will do, the security agency, nothing else. I'm sorry to tell you that it will still happen again.
But okay.
I want to tell you, the last time I was talking with you, last 2 years or thereabout, I told you these governments will fail. And the reason is this: they know the solution. But because of their own self-preservation, they don't want to cure it. Simple. State police. I remember I told you that 4 years you will see this state police will not come. You say you will be shocked. Because then they were saying they will soon do it. They will soon do it. The first year they came in, I said, look, first year is 25% of the government.
Yeah.
Now it's 75%. We are approaching the third year. Have you seen state police? That is why it will happen again. We have about 923,000 square kilometers of land in Nigeria. Look at how many we have in our security forces. Do you think that even when they are well equipped and well motivated, they will be able to oversee all? America, with its sophistication in technology, they have federal police, they have state police, they have community police. Yeah. Every university has its own police system. Why don't we have the same thing in Nigeria? You want to monopolize all the forces so that you can use them to intimidate and manipulate the system for your self-preservation. That is all. So, unfortunately, do you know the annoying thing? In Tinubu's regime, people are killed not only by human terrorists, but by even animals. A young lady, rising star, the lady with the golden voice, a snake beat her.
Are you going to hold the president?
Absolutely. They went to all the medical centers and all the hospitals. Anti-snake venom was not there. Johesu, 90 days have been on strike. And this is the government that is borrowing all this money, that has stopped first subsidy, and the health system has collapsed. If that health system was working, that lady would be alive. I can't remember the last time I heard that snake bite killed somebody. But look at this rising star. But have you not noticed that one young lady that was the best nurse 2025, Chinemerem Chimeziem, died? One chance people. Security coming in FCT. Security, rising star. Why is it that you saw how the treasurer, former treasurer of MBA, a lady, Nwabo, princess, died? One chance. Why is it that it is rising stars that are being killed in Tinubu's regime? Why is it that it is women and children that are dying? Any government that is evil has a way of killing women and children. The World Bank report, no, the United Nations report, you said Nigeria has now the highest maternal mortality rate. 1 out of every 100 women that give birth dies. That same instrument that is the channel of joy has become channel of tears in Nigeria. 56% of the women give birth at home because they can't afford hospital. They can't afford transportation. 35% of the people, 35 million, are now in abject poverty. They can't afford food. 130 million are in poverty, and 10 million is being added every day. We are in a sorry state in this country. Only God can save us. And that is why we must have to make sure that everything about the election is straightened out, all the amendments, so that Nigerians will choose whether to continue in this abject misery, poverty, or degradation of their lives, or choose a new life.
Thank you so much for coming to Inside Sources. Thank you for your voice. And thank you for the passion that your voice carries.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
So guys, heavy protests happening in Nigeria after the Senate tried to outsmart Nigerians. We saw lawmakers or senators who came out to say it was not the bill they discussed on that was passed by Akpabio. They approved the electronic transfer of results, real-time transmission. That is what they approved. But Akpabio came to try to outsmart Nigerians. But guess what? Nigerians are now on the street saying, Akpabio passed the bill. Akpabio passed the bill. Now take a look.